stop for a moment and receive this. The heat you're feeling is not here to destroy you. The pressure you're under is not proof that you're failing. The intensity around you is not the end of the story. Something is being refined. Something is being forged. Something inside you is learning how to become stronger, cleaner, steadier, and more useful to the life you are here to create. Stay with me here. I need you to hear this. There are seasons when life does not feel soft. It feels hot. It feels tight. It feels compressed. It feels like the kitchen is full of steam, the furnace is burning, the timer is running, the tools are on the table, and everything is asking you to stay present. Those seasons can feel overwhelming, but they are also seasons of transformation. The raw thing becomes cooked. The scattered thing becomes blended. The metal becomes shaped. The pressure becomes power when it's met with skill. Receive that. The pressure becomes power when it's met with skill. This is not a blessing for escape. This is a blessing for refinement. This is the moment where the heat becomes useful. The moment where the pressure cooker stops feeling like punishment and begins to reveal what's been making tender. The moment where the furnace stops looking like chaos and begins to look like a sacred workshop. The moment where the anvil receives the blow and the shape begins to appear. Good. Let the body hear that. Let the jaw release. Let the shoulders lower. Let the breath become steady. You're not only enduring this season, you're being shaped by it. There's a difference. Endurance only says, I hope I survive this. Refinement says, I am becoming something through this. Endurance clenches. Refinement listens. Endurance waits for the heat to end. Refinement asks, what is the heat teaching me? What is being softened? What is being strengthened? What is being burned away? What is being brought into balance? Let that land. The heat is teaching you. The pressure is teaching you. The friction, the delay, the mixture is teaching you. There are parts of you that could not be integrated in a cold room. There are strengths that only appear when life asks you to hold more than one thing at once. There are gifts that only mature when instinct meets discipline, fire meets patience, desire meets wisdom, and feeling meets form. This is the inner work. Not becoming harder, becoming more skillful, not becoming numb, becoming tempered. Not becoming scattered by intensity, learning how to use intensity without being consumed by it. This matters. The blacksmith does not hate the fire. The fire is part of the work. The cook does not resent the heat. The heat is what transforms the ingredients, right? A person in the pressure cooker of life does not have to believe the pressure is pleasant in order to recognize that something is being made ready. The heat has a purpose when it is held inside a process, and that's the key. Heat without process becomes chaos. Pressure without meaning becomes panic. Intensity without discipline becomes damage. But heat with process becomes transformation. Pressure with wisdom becomes tenderness. Intensity with direction becomes power. And that's what's being restored in you now. Process, wisdom, direction. The ability to stay inside the work without losing yourself to the heat. Very good. Let that settle. You're allowed to be in the process. You're allowed to be unfinished. You're allowed to be in the middle of becoming. You're allowed to be shaped without calling yourself broken. You're allowed to be under pressure without deciding the pressure owns you. You're allowed to feel the heat and still remember that the fire is not the master. The fire is a tool. The pressure is a tool. The anvil is a tool. The kitchen's a tool. The furnace is a tool. The work is happening through them, but they are not greater than the life being formed. Receive this blessing. May the heat become useful. May the pressure become intelligent. May the intensity become organized. May the scattered pieces begin to blend. May the raw parts of your life become ready. May the hard metal of your will become shaped without being shattered. May the soft places in you become tender without becoming weak. May the whole mixture come into balance. Good. Let that reach the nervous system. There is a balance being created in you, a balance between action and patience, between force and surrender, between discipline and compassion, between heat and water, between holding on and letting go. Life is asking you to mix opposites without tearing yourself apart. And that's why this season may feel so specific. You're not only choosing one thing and rejecting the other. You're learning integration, how to be strong and kind, how to be ambitious and peaceful, how to care deeply without becoming consumed, how to work hard without burning yourself into ash, how to hold boundaries without closing your heart, how to keep going without losing the tenderness that makes the journey worth taking. This is mastery, quiet mastery, practical mastery, the kind that happens in the kitchen when 10 things need attention and the meal still has to come together. The kind that happens at the furnace when the heat must be watched. The kind that happens at the anvil when the blow must be precise. Too little force, nothing changes. Too much force, and the shape is damaged. The blessing is precision. The blessing is right measure. The blessing is knowing when to heat, when to strike, when to cool, when to wait, and when to return. Stay with me here. I know part of you needs this today, because there is an area of your life where the heat is up. Something is demanding more skill from you, more patience, more discipline, more emotional control, more consistency, more willingness to stay with the process instead of throwing away the whole pot because it's not finished yet. You may be tempted to say, this is too much, or this is taking too long, or this isn't working. This should feel easier by now, but listen. Some things only look wrong because they're still cooking. Some things only look messy because the ingredients have not finished combining yet. Some things only feel intense because the old form is softening before the new form appears. The middle of transformation rarely looks elegant. The dough sticks to the hands. The metal glows before it takes shape. The pressure builds before the release. The kitchen gets hot before the meal's ready. Let that land. The middle is not the failure. The middle is the work. You are in the work. You're in the heat of becoming. You're in the workshop of your own life. And today the blessing is not to flee the workshop. The blessing is to become skillful inside of it. Now let it become practical. Don't throw away the whole path because this part is hot. Don't abandon the process because the mixture is still uneven. Don't mistake temporary pressure for permanent impossibility. Don't decide that intensity means you're on the wrong road. Sometimes intensity means the road is finally shaping you into someone capable of walking it. This is where inner alchemy becomes real. Raw emotion becomes wisdom. The scattered desire becomes direction. The old wound becomes compassion with boundaries. Frustration becomes fuel. The pressure becomes focus. The waiting becomes patience. The heat becomes purification. The life becomes more coherent. You are becoming more coherent, less scattered, less divided, less thrown around by every mood, every fear, every reaction, every delay. The parts of you are beginning to speak to each other. The ambitious part and the tender part. The disciplined part and the tired part. The part that wants change and the part that wants safety. They're not enemies. They're ingredients. They must be brought into right relationship. This is why balance matters. True balance is not lifeless neutrality. True balance is living proportion. Enough fire to move. Enough water to soften. Enough pressure to shape. Enough patience to finish. Enough discipline to continue, and enough mercy to stay human. You don't need to become all fire. All fire burns the house down. You don't need to become all water. All water loses the shape. You don't need to become all pressure. All pressure crushes the vessel. You don't need to become all ease. All ease may never transform the raw material. You're learning the right mixture, the right measure, the right timing, the right heat for the thing being made. And that is sacred intelligence. And you have access to it, more than you think. You can feel when you need to push. You can feel when you need to pause. You can feel when the conversation needs warmth. You can feel when the boundary needs firmness. You can feel when the body needs rest. You can feel when the work needs discipline. You can feel when the mixture is off. You can feel when the current comes back into balance. Trust that. The body has wisdom. The heart has wisdom. The life you're here to create has a rhythm. Listen for it. And bring this into your ordinary life today. Find one place where the heat has become chaotic and give it a process. Write the next step, set the timer, clean the surface, prepare the tool. Put the ingredients in order. Okay? Take the walk before the conversation. Breathe. Choose the measured action instead of the dramatic reaction. That's refinement. One measured action. One disciplined pause. One useful strike on the anvil. The blow doesn't need to be violent, it needs to be accurate. The heat doesn't need to consume you, it needs to be contained. The pressure does not need to crush you. It needs to be directed toward transformation. Receive this identity now. I can stand in the heat. I can remain steady under pressure. I can be shaped without being destroyed. I can bring my life into balance. I can use intensity wisely. I can become stronger, softer, clearer, and more whole. Very good. Let it settle into the body. Let it reach the spine. Let it reach the hands. Let it reach the breath. Let it reach the part of you that wants to run from the pressure before the work is complete. That part is receiving reassurance now. You don't have to run. You can lower the heat when needed. You can step back and breathe. You can ask for help. You can adjust the process. You can protect the vessel. But you don't have to abandon what is being made. There's something valuable being formed here. A stronger rhythm, a clear standard, a steadier heart, a more disciplined life, a more integrated self, a version of you that can hold more without spilling everywhere, a version of you that can feel deeply without being ruled by every feeling, a version of you that can desire strongly without losing wisdom, a version of you that can stay in the kitchen when the heat rises and still make something nourishing. That's power. That's maturity. And that is the blessing. There is a meal trying to be made from the ingredients of your life. There is a tool trying to be forged from the metal of your will. There is a medicine trying to be prepared from what has been bitter, sweet, sharp, and difficult. There is a new balance trying to come through you. Let the work continue. Let the fire refine. Let the pressure cook what was too tough to receive. Let the anvil shape what was too raw to use. Let the kitchen become a place of creation, not panic. Let the process become sacred again. Receive the blessing now. May every heat in your life become intelligent. May every pressure become part of the process. May every hard place become an anvil for strength. May every furnace burn away what cannot serve your path. May every kitchen of chaos become a room where nourishment is made. May your patience deepen. May your timing sharpen. May your inner mixture come into balance. May your life become more coherent, more integrated, more skillful, and more aligned. May you stop fearing the heat that is refining you. May you stop cursing the pressure that is helping you become ready. May you recognize the sacred craft taking place inside this season. Let this be the final prayer. I bless the fire. I bless the pressure. I bless the anvil. I bless the work. I bless the heat that refines me. I bless the process that shapes me. I bless the balance returning to my life. I remain steady while I'm becoming. I use intensity with wisdom. I move in alignment with the life I am here to create. Let it settle. Let it become simple. Let it become lived. The furnace is not here to destroy you. The anvil is not here to shame you. The pressure is not here to crush you. The heat of the kitchen is not proof that the meal has failed. Something is being made. Something is being refined. Something is coming into balance. And from this moment forward, may every fire become a teacher. May every pressure become a path towards strength. And may every blessing being forged in this season find its proper road into your life. And if this transmission found you at the right moment, subscribe to Dove and Serpent daily and return tomorrow for the next realignment.